yeah. All right, welcome back. We got a great show. We got a great show planned for you guys today. But first, Austin, got something for you and Scott. Not you, Dustin, because you weren't part of this. But today, Gardner Minshew was named QB1.
QB1? Really?
QB1. All those haters of Gardner Minshew, they don't like Gardner Minshew.
Oh, really?
They weren't fans of Gardner Minshew. Don't jump on the wagon now. Come on. You weren't big on him. He's okay.
I want Aiden O'Connell.
I know you do. I know you do. I think I kind of wanted Aiden O'Connell too, but
old Brendan
Scott hated on Minshew all year last year. I always thought he's a good fill-in guy. You know what I mean? He's not a great. I don't know if he could be a long-term starter.
Probably not.
Probably not. No, he's kind of a small guy, but he's a little ass boy, as Max Crosby would say.
Is our camera on?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh,
It's on. I can see it. I just need to flip it around. I'll flip it around in a second.
All right.
But yeah, Max Crosby, the whole little ass boy thing. Now they're teammates together. He's going to lead that Raiders team this year, at least in the beginning of the season. Aiden O'Connell, I guess he switched from number 4 to number 12 because he kind of looked like Derek Carr out there. A lot of people were putting tape over their car and putting O'Connell on the back, but I wish he would have kept it. That'd have been cool. They'd have forgot about his ass soon enough. But now he will be Minshew's backup. Minshew, does he have a history of being injury prone?
Not really.
No?
I don't really remember. No.
I think he's a tough dude. He's always the one coming in.
He's the injury quarterback.
Like he took over the job in Jacksonville when Nick Foles got hurt, I believe, when his rookie year, I believe, and didn't do bad. Did pretty good. And then last year in Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson got hurt, took over the job. They're right place, right time for the guy. But
did you know this last year? He made the freaking Pro Bowl.
No shit.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, you know who else? You know who else made the Pro Bowl last year though? Tyler or whatever for the Ravens.
Yeah.
He started one game and made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tyler what? Dustin Tyler.
No.
Who?
Lamar's backup. His name's Tyler something.
That's not Tyler.
Tyler Heineke, is that what you're saying?
No.
No, God,
No,
it's
no,
bothering
no.
me. I can't remember. It's bothering me. God, I wish I could remember that. Somebody find out what that is. See if you can find it, Austin. That's going to bother me until we get here. But anyway, congratulations, Gardner Minshew. New QB1 and for Antonio Pierce and the Las Vegas Raiders.
See what Antonio Pierce said?
I wonder if Devontae's excited about
You
this.
see what Antonio Pierce said?
No.
It's like, I gave them both the opportunity. They both suck today.
Yeah, no, I saw that. He was pretty blunt about it. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't seem too excited to name the starter or not. But why not? They still got one more game. Why not still give Aiden O'Connell the chance to win the job there? I guess you got to kind of start gearing up, though. Minshew, the starters have to start playing at the end of the preseason to kind of get a groove, you know what I mean? So
That makes sense.
maybe he's just going to throw Minshew in there. I mean, it couldn't get that much worse if O'Connell comes in. So anyway, but yeah, that's the news out of Las Vegas. CeeDee Lamb still hasn't signed a contract. He took Dallas off of his Twitter. Okay, we're going to go round and round with this. I don't know. Do you think he's going to show up or not?
Yes.
He has to.
Eventually what ends up happening.
He is too young to take the year off. Remember Melvin Gordon did that bullshit? And then
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell did it. Le'Veon Bell actually stood on business, though. He didn't play the whole year, but then came back, probably lost lots of money because he didn't sign that contract. But
Jerry's going to cave. I mean, he does it every time.
yeah, he came out with some, there was a quote saying, "We miss you, but not that much," or some shit like that.
It's all a political.
Yeah, no,
It's just gamesmanship.
Do you remember the Ezekiel Elliott one, Zeku or whatever?
Yeah.
Because yeah, and then he ended up folding there too. But
Yeah.
that didn't work out too well, though.
He's the worst poker player ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all know that he ends up folding every
It's
time.
folding, and it's
gives in.
way too late.
Speaking of Zeke,
He should have signed CD 2 years ago before all these max contracts got on.
yeah,
Or
before he had the year he had last year.
Yeah.
He does it every time.
He's a bad poker player.
Yeah.
He sucks at it.
Not only that does Dallas have that wide receiver thing. I mean, they got Brandon Cooks, but whatever.
No, they don't.
Kind of a journeyman. Yeah, he is.
I thought,
He signed a 3-year deal last year.
who plays for the Texans?
The Texans, lots of guys. Nico
No,
Collins, Stephon Diggs.
Think Dill.
Who's the Cooks guy?
No, he plays for Dallas, bro.
Really?
Yes, he got traded to Dallas a year or two ago, right? Last year?
There's some sort of. You hear that? Something's loud. Like really loud. Is that the TV? Sorry. Oh, okay, that was the TV. I was like, I thought this was TV. It sounded like it was like.
Yeah, it's probably them downstairs.
Gotcha.
But I thought he played for the Texans.
No, he did play for the Texans.
He did,
but-
and then the
Who am I
Cowboys.
thinking of?
He did. He used to
No.
play for the Texans, and the Cowboys picked him up.
Woods.
Or traded for
I'm
him.
thinking of Woods.
Oh, you're thinking of Robert Woods, yeah.
Robert Woods, not.
Okay. But their running back situation is kind of messy. I saw somewhere where Miles Sanders could possibly be a signing for them because I guess in Carolina's camp or whatever he's not doing too well. Then there's the whole Dalvin Cook. I mean, I don't know how much you're going to get out of him, but either way, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Where's Cook?
Dalvin Cook isn't playing for anybody right now.
Still free agent?
I believe so, right? Or is he in training camp somewhere?
I'm not sure on that. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something I'm hearing, man. I don't know what that is, but
Huntley.
Okay.
That's what it
Tyler
was.
Huntley.
Huntley, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, he made the Pro Bowl last year after starting 1 or 2 games for the damn Ravens. But we also saw Daniel Jones in action yesterday.
Did he get cut?
Russell Wilson in action yesterday.
Did he get cut?
Justin Fields in action.
Yeah.
And safe to say they didn't do too well. Russ played 5 series, went, 4 for 10 for 45 yards. He got sacked a couple times also.
I think combined they played like 3 quarters and they had 100.
3 points.
Who?
3 points and 160 yards combined.
Yeah, it don't look good there in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
If I was Pittsburgh, I would just start Justin Fields. I mean,
Might as well.
yeah, Russ. It looks like he's lost it. But anyway, going back to Daniel Jones, he threw 2 picks yesterday. First time we've seen him since that torn ACL he had against the Cardinals, I believe, is when he injured it last year. He didn't look too good. I think he played 3 series, something like that. But I got this little comparison for y'all. I'm gonna give you these comparisons, and y'all are gonna tell me who the other guy is. It's gonna be Daniel Jones versus somebody else. Okay. And after I say everything, I think y'all will be pretty surprised on who it is, if I can find the damn thing.
Hey, where did Penix go?
He's plays for Atlanta. He got drafted by the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got win-loss. Daniel Jones, 19-29. This other quarterback, 20-28. So this other quarterback, 1 more win. Okay, and this is in 48 career starts. All right, completion percentage. Daniel Jones, 63.1. This other quarterback, 63.8. A little bit higher than Daniel Jones. I wouldn't say it ain't a big difference, obviously. Passing yards, 12,204. For the unknown quarterback, 12,014 for Daniel Jones. Okay, total touchdowns. Daniel Jones, 64.
And they started the same year.
Yes. Daniel Jones, 64. The other quarterback, 66 touchdowns. Turnovers, dead even at 55 each. Teams points per game, 19.6 for Jones, 20.3 for this other quarterback. Y'all name me this other quarterback. One guess.
Jordan Love.
Don't be looking nothing up. Y'all go.
Jameis Winston.
No. Trevor Lawrence.
Oh.
Exact same stats as Trevor Lawrence, the big man who just signed his $255 million contract.
Reset the market.
Yeah. And that just goes to show you how terrible that New York media can be. They can drag him through the fucking mud, which those aren't good stats for either one. But Trevor Lawrence playing a different market down there in Jacksonville, they've never been good, so I kind of think it's okay for Trevor Lawrence to be bad and not for Daniel Jones. So.
Daniel Jones won a playoff game too, right? Against the Vikings?
Yes, he beat the Vikings in that playoff game.
Yep.
So did Trevor Lawrence.
And they didn't do too bad in the playoff game after that against the Eagles. I think they covered the spread in that game. Yeah.
Almost won it.
Exactly. But that was the famous Kirk Cousins check down on 4th and 8 when you need a touchdown. I mean, when you need a first down. Like, right then is when I knew Trevor Lawrence wasn't coming back to Minnesota when his contract was up. But yeah, that's interesting, I think. Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones, identical comparison. Who's better? Who would y'all say is better?
Still say Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But that's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
They'll put Trevor Lawrence in the top 10 of quarterbacks right now. But
Not me.
they won't put Daniel Jones. Well, some will, I guess. Some analysts. Yeah. They won't put Daniel Jones in the top 32 maybe number 32 if he starts.
No. Hey, you take Daniel Jones' rushing yards every game.
Yeah.
On rushing yards.
Yeah.
He
can run. He's got some legs
100.
He may slow down on that because of the whole injury and everything.
That and he lost Saquon.
Yeah. And another thing. All right, we need to go back to this Brandon Ayuk saga. It seems like every day somebody on Twitter posts, all right, we're going to solve it today. We're going to solve it today. We're going to solve it today. All right, so he wants north of $30 million. All right. Let me tell you guys, let me show you these guys' numbers. These are the guys he wants to get paid just as much as, okay? Now.
That guy?
No. All right, so most receiving yards in 2020, number one since 2020, Tyreek Hill was 6,024. Okay,
Okay.
How much does he make?
he makes 30 million, which is what Brandon Ayuk wants. Brandon Ayuk is in 17th when it comes to yards, reception yards since 2020. Okay, 3,931. Tyreek Hill has him doubled up at 6,000. 17th in yards, 22nd in receptions, 14th in touchdowns is what Ayuk is. And he wants this top money that Devontae Adams is getting, Tyreek Hill is getting. And I don't think he's worth it. They do have a better team, I guess. I guess you got Debo. It's got to eat too. But if you look at what, like, I guess an even comparison of Brandon Ayuk, if you look at those numbers, and I looked at them and I kind of analyzed who's kind of in the ballpark of where he is as far as receiving touchdowns and catches, is the closest comparisons are DeAndre Hopkins and Brandon Cooks. Okay, DeAndre Hopkins is a 2-year, $26 million deal right now. Brandon Cooks is on a 2-year, $36 million deal right now. Both of them under $20 million a year. So this guy wants north of $15 million more than these guys, that he's pretty much even with in comparison, which it don't make any sense to me. But they have more talent on the team, I guess, is kind of where people will argue. Like, he's kind of, I guess he's more of a decoy too. He plays a decoy also.
Yeah.
And so does Deebo Samuel. But is he worth $30 million a year?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
Yes.
You think so?
Not in San Francisco though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, if he can find a sucker to sign him for $30 million a year.
It says right here, Steelers have deal in place to acquire Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I heard that, and then I also heard there was somebody else. The Patriots were going to pay him $26 million, I think, and he turned it down or
Send him to New England.
something like that.
So he wants to win, and he wants to get paid.
You can't have both.
You can't have both.
You can't have your cake and eat it, Brandon
I thought you
Ayuk.
were going to say he wants to win, so he wants to go to New England. I was like, no.
Exactly. He wants to win,
Well, he
and
didn't take New England because he wants to win.
exactly.
Okay, well,
Like, hey, get paid.
Yeah.
that's what it's
or
all
win.
about now. You just got to get paid now. It ain't about who you're playing for. There's no loyalty anymore. So speaking of loyalty, and the San Francisco 49ers ex-coach Jim Harbaugh has reached out to Colin Kaepernick to help coach the Chargers. I don't know, as a quarterback coach, some kind of consultant.
Motivational speaker.
I don't know. I don't know. Woke coach. Maybe he could be the woke coach. Not clear on what he wants him to coach, but Colin Kaepernick, I think he backed out and said no, because I think he still has aspirations to come back and play. As long as Jamel Hill's still out there, we're gonna keep hearing about Colin Kaepernick can sign with so and so and so and so. Look, J.J. McCarthy just tore his ACL. Why don't they sign Colin Kaepernick? There's gonna be a tweet by Jamel Hill about that. I guarantee it. Yeah. So I don't know what his reasoning was. He just said, I won't coach this year for Coach Harbaugh. He appreciates the offer and everything. So, terrible training camp the Vikings are having right now.
Dude,
Bad.
Their off season has been fucking shit.
Bad.
Like bad.
McCarthy goes out. You have the cornerback that passed away.
Yes.
You have another cornerback that tore his ACL. Jordan Addison carted off the field.
Carted off. Andy DUI.
Yeah, and the DUI.
Jeez.
And there's a couple more. I just can't think. Those are the four most important. They did sign Stephon Gilmore today, right?
Yes.
Stephon Gilmore to a deal today, 1 year, $10 million.
Which I saw on the Packers Twitter. It's like, congratulations. They showed us fucking cooking them last year for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Stephon Gilmore, he can still play. Is he worth what he wants? $10 million a year? I don't think so.
No.
That's just me though. Hey, something we didn't talk about, and it happened a couple weeks ago, but that night we were talking about the Panthers and Patriots game on our last show. Did you hear the Panthers almost got in a plane crash on their way home that night?
No.
They were landing the plane, and the plane skidded off the runway and fucking went into the grass. Nobody was hurt, but you look it up on Twitter. It's
Wow.
yeah. I think I have a screenshot of it. It was kind of like a quiet thing. I think Ian Rappaport reported it, but from Panthers, the team can confirm that their charter team plane, after landing safely, did run off the taxiway into the mud. The team can also confirm there's no injuries. Okay, so this may be blown out of proportion a little bit. Maybe they landed and they were going to their, to their gate, and maybe they just accidentally ran off.
Huh.
But the story I heard is that they were landing and they kind of skidded off into the. Didn't have a perfect landing. But nobody was hurt, so it's not that big of a deal. Nobody hurt in the incident.
Huh.
Yeah, it was kind of. I didn't see too much about it, so it must not have been that big of a deal.
How would you react in that situation, James? How would you react?
Oh, I'd freak out.
Oh my
Remember
God.
that plane we were on with all that
Yes.
turbulence in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was rough. That was
It's like, we're going down, dude. We're going down.
no, like I
People
had
were
a text written out to Morgan that because dude, it was bad.
Really?
And it wasn't a very good airline, I believe. I think it was like was it Frontier or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was these old ladies in front of us that were like leaning over, like breathing real heavy, and then the flight attendants were just in the back, just kind of like, "Oh, it's just turbulence." But I'd never been part of that much turbulence.
People were screaming. I'm like,
Yeah, you would hear, "Oh, oh," like gasps. It was bad. It was pretty bad. I didn't even like thinking about that. That's rough.
just because James wanted to save a couple dollars, not paying for freaking bags.
Exactly.
Check bags.
Dude, never go to the airport with this guy. The slowest moving dude ever.
Have I ever missed a flight?
No, you haven't.
Exactly.
But I'm walking. This guy's at least 20 feet behind me every time.
Like, dude, we have freaking time.
I know it's not that though. What if we don't make the flight?
We don't make the flight.
Oh, I don't want to be stuck in Minnesota or Green Bay or Mill. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting stuck in Green Bay, but maybe we'll stay for the game that week. But it was yeah, but that flight was bad. That was probably the worst one I've been a part of. So
That landing was horrible. Like,
yes. Other news. The NCAA has come out with the top 5 weeks in college football. All right, we'll start from number 5. Okay.
Okay.
Week 5 is number 5 is week 10, November 2nd. You have Ohio State at Penn State, Oregon at Michigan, number 3 Oregon and number 9 Michigan, number 1 Georgia at Florida, number 23 USC, Washington, Kentucky at number 15 Tennessee. Not bad. That's not bad. Everybody's just there for that Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. All right, week 5 is number 4. You got Georgia at Alabama, Arizona at Utah, Oklahoma, Kansas State. Okay, that's only there because of the Georgia, Alabama. The other ones aren't that. They're not that fucking eye-opening.
You say Oklahoma State, Kansas State?
Oklahoma State, Kansas State, yeah.
That could be for the Big 12 title. I mean,
Okay, top 3, week 11. Alabama, number 5 at number 13 LSU. Georgia, number 1 at number 6 Ole Miss. Oklahoma, number 16 at number 11 Missouri. Number 19 Miami at Georgia Tech. Number 10 Florida State at number 7 Notre Dame. As far as rankings go, all those teams are ranked in that whole week, so that's not a bad one.
but like week 11, you don't know who's going to be in there.
Yeah, that's true. This is going off of that for sure. Now week 7, which is the second ranked. You got Ohio State at Oregon, 2 versus 3.
That's going to be a great game.
6 Ole Miss at number 13 LSU.
That's going to be a good one.
Number 8 Penn State at number 23 USC. Number 4 Texas at number 16 Oklahoma. In Dallas, Texas at the Cotton Bowl.
yep.
And then number 18 Kansas State at Colorado. Only because Deion Sanders, you know. And number 1 is week 14, which is rivalry week.
Yeah, exactly. No way.
Yeah.
I could have never guessed that one.
Michigan at number 9 Michigan and number 2 Ohio State. Number 16 Oklahoma at number 13 LSU. See, that's not a rivalry game. Number 4 Texas at number 20 Texas A&M. Auburn at Alabama. Notre Dame 7 against USC 23. So, I don't know. I kind of like week 2 there.
Yeah, I like
The number 2 week.
Yeah, I like the Oregon Ohio State week.
Yeah,
better.
that's going to be a good one. I mean, number 1's probably just because Texas and Texas A&M are playing again. That's probably why they threw it up there.
Well, duh.
That's going to be a wild-ass fucking
You
game.
know what shit costs to go to that game?
I know it's pretty. I know it ain't cheap. I bet it's $1,000 a seat wherever you're fucking sitting.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Like $800.
Ooh.
Yeesh.
But yeah, that's college. We'll get into college football later after the interview. We got an interview with Ganado coach Josh Ervin will be joining us here in a little bit. We will talk shop with him, talk football, see how the Ganado Indians are looking, and hopefully they can come back, win state next year. Go 16-0 right there. You see it? It's there. 16-0. It's gonna happen.
If they win, do we get a ring?
Huh? Well, that's kind of a question I was gonna ask. We'll see. Yeah, stick with us. Coach Josh Ervin will join us on the other side. Thank you. Okay, joining us today, we got a very special guest, a man who has brought statewide attention to the small town of Ganado, Texas. He and the Indians went on a playoff tear last year, getting all the way to the state semifinals. Okay, taking down Santa Maria, Mason, Holland, and Refugio. He leads the charge for the number one state-ranked Ganado Indians, not Guardians, Indians. Please welcome to the show Coach Josh Ervin. Y'all ain't
Yes.
changing y'all name to the Guardians, are you?
No, sir. No.
Okay, good.
Commanders, maybe
Commanders or the football team?
the football team.
Ganado football team, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I kind of like the football team.
No.
Not Ganado though, but Washington.
Ganado FC.
Yeah. Okay. How you doing, Coach? You doing okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Doing good. How are y'all?
Good. Good. In the office still, huh? Still watching some film, getting ready.
Yep, almost done. Just getting ready for the last week before the season starts.
Heck yeah. Okay. I want to ask you about the scrimmage, but first, the rules of the show. We don't have any. Say what you want to say. Answer any way you want. Now, if there's something you don't want to answer or talk about, our safe word is flapjacks. Okay. We ask you something you don't want to answer, throw it out there. For example, Dustin, who do you like more, Coach Sean Alvarez or Coach Josh Ervin?
Flapjack.
There you go, just like that. He'll tell me after though. Okay, so y'all had the scrimmage yesterday. How'd that go?
Thought it went pretty good. Stuff we got to work on, probably like most teams, but I think we have a good starting spot.
Good deal. Good. Who'd you guys play against? We couldn't figure. We tried to look it up to see who y'all were playing against.
We scrimmaged Walls Brazos.
Wallace Brazos.
Division II school in
Do they have a head coach?
Yes, they do.
No, they're out there.
No, I'm serious.
They're out there like the West Canaan Coyotes once they kicked Bud Kilmer off the field.
Lance Harbor.
They fired their guy, or like something happened, like what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Something like that. Yeah, Coach Recker.
Hey,
I don't know. Something
Next
happened.
man up, Dustin. Next
Yeah,
man
he's
up.
got that high school coach drama still. He's still feeling it. Well, you were on the football field all day yesterday too. So was I. Me and you, we're not so different. You come from the trenches of varsity football. I come from the trenches of 10 and under girls flag football. So,
Okay.
we're kind of the same. I can't tell you which one's harder, but I mean we'll leave that in the comments to see which one's harder. No, I'm just messing with you. Okay, so the scrimmage went good. You guys went against Wallace Brazos. As far as your guys returning starters, I mean, did they get a lot of playing time? And how many do y'all have on offense and how many y'all have returning on defense?
So yeah, we got a good amount of reps yesterday. Offensively, we're returning 8, and then defensively, we're returning 10. So 8 of the kids are the same kids, but we feel pretty good about who's coming back this year and the experience that we bring.
Yeah, I was watching. All of us, we were kind of watching the highlights, and we were saying, man, if half of these kids come back, they're gonna be a problem to deal with. Your players to watch returning from what we saw in online kind of stuff, that you see there. Dave Campbell Magazine. You got your quarterback Bryce Ullman, wide receivers Brandon Hicks and Logan Burris, who were a problem last year according to Dustin. How are they looking during workouts this year?
Oh, they've been great. The whole team's really been great the whole off season. Been really committed coming up. Summer's been the best summer probably since I've been here, which has been 8 years. So, I mean, we're excited about that. The kids are really bought in and they're excited for the season.
Good. I'm assuming you guys don't have any lack of leadership there, but what I wanted to ask you is, how's the excitement like in the locker room? Going from the season, starting the season ranked number 1. How desperate are they, to get back on the field?
Oh, man, I think it's been the most excited that we've been, but ready just to get back. Being the number 1 ranked team, I guess, by Dave Campbell's Texas football has brought a lot of outside noise, hype, distractions, if you want to call it that. And man, we're just ready to tired of the talk, get that behind us, and just go play football. Focus on what actually matters, because at the end of the day, that preseason ranking, it really doesn't mean anything. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, y'all do have.
This is all that matters right here.
Y'all do have something to live up to. Got a surprise for you here. We did. There we go.
16-0.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
Hell yes. Got a lot of confidence in you guys going into the season, and I'm sure you guys are confident too. I love that. Realignment this year. How do you guys think that went about? And I got to ask you. You can answer this afterward, but do you have a particular game you guys have circled or you personally, that you want to get to?
Yeah, so realignment, didn't know what was going to happen, to be honest with you. And we've been with Shiner Refugio the past 2 years. Shiner dropped down to 2A Division Two. Refugio dropped down south into that district now. And we kept Bloomington and Kennedy still. Didn't know if Kennedy was going to go south with them. But then we went back to some teams that we played, I guess it was 2 realignments ago in Weimar, Schulenburg, Flatonia. And so I don't know. It's fun to see new teams, but uh, we'll see what happens. I mean, Weimar was really competitive last year. I think they were 10-3, and they're returning quite a few from what I've heard. And then Schulenburg returns, I think, like 20 or something, and they're really good under their first year head coach. So second year in that program. So I think it's going to be a competitive district. And then the second question was, is there a certain game that we have circled? Man, no, there's really not.
Come on, man.
There's got to be one.
There's got to be.
I guess Van Vleck, because that's the first game you could say. But after that,
There we go.
you know what I mean? And that's really, I think that's how you got to approach not only sports but everything in life. Is just focus on what's in front of you. And this week it's just practicing getting better for us, and then competing on Thursday we scrimmage Shiner. But then after that, obviously the focus will go to Van Vleck.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I was hoping to get some personal beef out of you there to see what team you wanted to go to. I think you still got it. You just don't want to tell us, but that's okay. As far as another question about realignment, does that kind of get frustrating after a couple of years? Because, you start getting used to the teams you're playing with, and then, they totally throw you a curveball, and you're just playing totally different teams every 2 years. I mean, to me, that would be a little frustrating, but
Travel 200 miles this way for one game or something, coming back.
For sure. If we had that problem, yes, I think so. Now knock on wood, we haven't had that problem where we got to travel really far out of the way to play anyone. But I don't know. I think it makes it kind of fun that you don't play the same teams over and over and over and over. You get to play different teams throughout the years. When we first got to Ganado, we were 3A Division Two, and so we were playing Tidehaven and East Bernard in district, and we still play them non-district, but then we dropped to 2A, and it was Weimar, Shiner, Schulenburg, Flatonia, and then joined up the next realignment with Kennedy and Refugio and Skidmore and Three Rivers. So I don't know. I enjoy kind of moving around, playing different teams, not playing the same exact teams every single year.
gotcha. Well, not to brag about Three Rivers, they sent us this signed ball so we could put in the studio. So, I mean, if you guys over there in Ganado want to send us something, we'll put up here somewhere. Just
Yes,
if you're feeling good. It'd be nice. They signed this ball for us and they win state the same year. Oh, could happen.
Yeah, are we gonna get a ring out of this?
Yeah, we get a ring. Don't answer that. Don't promise us nothing.
Flapjacks.
Yeah, there you go. Dustin, you had a question about the whole district thing.
So non-district, I noticed y'all playing. I don't think y'all played Tidehaven right last year, correct?
No, sir, just scrimmage.
Yeah. So y'all got Tidehaven, who was number 10 in the state, 382, and East Bernard 13th, also 382. Did y'all have those agreed upon before y'all made your playoff run, or was that after y'all kind of made y'all's run last year and had all the success?
Yeah, no, so it's actually before we had the playoff run. We've actually played East Bernard, I think, every year since we've been in Ganado back in 2018. So the first 2 years they were in district, we were 3A. When we dropped to 2A, we kept them on the schedule in non-district. But that was already agreed upon. And then Coach Lucio, the head coach at Tidehaven, he actually coached me back in Pee Wee way back when. So me and him have a great relationship, and I think it's a good game to get back on the schedule. And we talked about it, and I think we set that like last summer maybe. So it was far before the season started.
Yeah, it'll be a good test for y'all. I mean, early, it's the last game in non-district, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough non-district. But I mean, I think that's what you want, is a tough non-district, get you ready going into district and see what you need to work on.
They didn't call you after that run and try to, dodge the smoke, did they?
No.
They just came off their own run anyway, so.
Is there an echo? Did you hear that?
I just heard something.
Okay, sorry about that. No, that playoff run, we want to get to that later. Okay, just letting you know, we really want to talk about that. As far as Dave Campbell's, we were reading the magazine and everything. It puts out your players to watch the guys that have pretty much proved themselves. Returning starters and stuff. So what you've seen during this preseason and workouts and everything, is there any players that have impressed? Just to kind of get names out there. Every kid likes to get their name in the newspaper. You know what I mean? So
For sure, yeah. Nah, it was crazy. I don't know if there's any single kid to throw out. They've all been kind of impressive, from the quarterback Bryce Ullman to the receivers Austin Pena, Landon Hicks, Kane Hayden, Luke Burrish, who are all returning starters. Um, our kicker, and he plays receiver too, done a really good job so far playing receiver and corner. And yesterday, I'd have to go back. I got to ask the kicking coach, but I think it was a 40-something yarder. Joe Rodriguez, he's done a great job, worked really, really hard. Logan Burris, he's going to be a sophomore. Uh, Really, really excited about seeing him this season. And I mean, really, all of them. I can't pick out just one or two that have really impressed me, because it really is all of them. And that's what's really exciting about right now, is it's not just a couple. It's the whole team that's looking pretty good, and the offensive line's coming together. I feel like this is the best we've ever been on the offensive line this early in the season, and I think four of them are returners, or three. Yeah, four of them are returners from last year. So uh, it's fun when you have this situation.
gotcha. Awesome, man. The kids going into the season, none of them got a big head or talking too much. You're keeping them in line, right? Telling them one game at a time, kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's what we were kind of worried about,
Hmm.
myself and then the coaching staff, just relaying the message to them, is that we haven't been in this situation before. You know what I mean? Being ranked preseason ranked number one, and so it's kind of what's everyone going to be about. But I don't know. I feel like the captains and the leadership on the team, not the coaches, but the team. Like, I think they've done a good job. They're keeping their head where it is. They're focused on just us, focused on being the best team that we could be, get better every day, and we'll see what happens. Not getting caught up in who we might play in the playoffs, or who the other ranked teams are. None of that stuff. Just focus on us, get better every day, and we'll see what happens.
Heck yeah, good deal. Well, we probably should have asked you this earlier, but we were going to ask you if you want to kind of share with us your coaching journey. What led you into coaching, and your stops along the way. We kind of wanted just to get a little background on you for listeners.
For sure. So I think growing up, well, number one, my dad was a coach, and so I don't know. I think everyone kind of looks up to their dad the majority of the time, uh, and sees what they do good, and kind of wants to make them proud. And so he was a coach, just a little league coach, but coached me growing up, and so I really enjoyed that. I got into high school, and I had a really good coach. He coached me. He was the quarterback coach, offense coordinator at Bay City, where I grew up in, and he was the first guy that kind of had a belief that I could go play football at the next level, which was always a dream of mine. And so he had a big impact in me. And so I went off to college, and I knew I was going to be a coach, and came back, and I was blessed to have the opportunity to get on at Bay City, um, and be the quarterback coach there, which is where I graduated from, and met up with Coach Bennett. And he was the offense coordinator at Bay City at the time. And so when he came over to Ganado 2 years later, so 2018, I remember we were at softball practice, and I had a feeling that he was going to become a head coach pretty soon. He was really, really good, really organized, just great guy to be around. And I remember he left the practice field, and I was like, man, he must be getting a call to be a head coach somewhere. And sure enough, got in the truck with him afterwards. He asked me to ride around with him, and he asked me, he told me he was going to leave to Ganado, and asked me if I wanted to go with him. And my mind was made up, like, no, I'm staying in Bay City.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Ganado to be a quarterback coach.
Hometown, man.
Yeah, exactly. Hometown. And that was my goal. I was going to be in Bay City forever. Just because I love where I came from, and I love the kids there and the community. But he was like, no, I want you to be the offensive coordinator. And so I was like, okay. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't know he was going to provide me with that opportunity. And so I ended up coming with him. And when I first got here, there was no way that I'd ever say 8 years later I'd still be here. But fell in love with the kids, fell in love with this community. Um, got married, have 2 kids now. So I mean, life's just great, super blessed, and couldn't ask for more.
Gotcha. Okay. You can't beat the small town life, you know.
Play any
We all
ball?
grew up in a small town, so.
Play any ball in college?
Yes, sir. Yes, I played
Where
at a
at?
school up in Kansas, NAI, at the
Kansas Westlake.
University of St. Mary in Leavenworth, Kansas.
Nice. Quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
You still sling it?
Yeah, I can still sing it a little bit.
You gotta still have the competitive edge, man. I know you're out there. Them quarterbacks make a bad throw. Move out of the way. Let me show you how to do it, boy. Man, coaching's a job you got to move around a lot sometimes. So you've mainly just okay. So you've gone to just Bay City and then Ganado, and you've been there since then.
Yes, sir. Been there since then. Never thought I'd be here still, but here I am. And
You ever
life's great.
call? Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
No, I was gonna say, you ever call Coach Bennett and tell him, "Hey, look at me now, man. Look at me now."
No, hey, I do talk to Coach Bennett all the time. In fact, I talked to him earlier today. We talk all the time, have a great relationship. I know he really enjoys it down there at George West. He's excited about the season that they got coming. And I really think that there's good things coming for I know for him, but for George West.
Hell yeah, we love to hear that. That's where we're from, man.
That's it.
That's where we're from. All of us are from there, so
See that
Yep.
hook? Ervin?
there it is.
See that hook?
Hey, and maybe if you just want to take a few players from Ganado and move them down to George West, y'all can be back together again. We can make this whole thing work. I mean, we know some people. Well, Dustin knows some people at least.
Top skipping and jumping.
Figure it out. No, man, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it there. That's awesome. So you've been there 8 years, huh?
It's 6 years, I think. Got there in 18, 24, some 6 or 7, something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, no, I was going to ask you, as far as the coaching job goes, not knowing, you didn't make that many stops, but, the whole being a coach, you're moving from town to town and, it's kind of like hard on the kids and the family, but I mean, I guess they're adapting to it well. Your family's adapting to it well there in Ganado. They love it there. Is that what you were saying?
From Ganado, so she's still in the hometown. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what got me stuck here.
Yeah.
Stuck, quote unquote, because I love it, but it was meeting her. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Ganado's been a blessing to me. It really has been.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Okay, before we get into some more stuff, Austin over here did a little get to know me kind of thing. He's going to ask you a couple questions. Just give, rapid fire answers real quick. All right, you ready? Go ahead, Austin.
Go ahead. What is your favorite sports movie of all time?
Ooh, gotta be probably Remember the Titans.
Oh, Coach Boone.
That's a good one.
There we go.
Good one.
Favorite sport other than football?
Softball.
Softball.
Yes, sir.
Favorite hobby outside of sports?
Fishing.
Fishing. Where do you go fish?
Saltwater, just right down the road to Olivia. That's the nice thing, being right here on the coast, and then freshwater wherever I could find.
I got a guy I can hook you up like special baits and lures and shit. Does his own freaking podcast too. There we go. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Probably Italian.
Okay.
Athlete?
Athlete. Ooh, gotta go with Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you, sir.
We got to give him applause for that one. There we go. You can't see it, but Austin's got a signed Aaron Rodgers picture back there.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, it's signed.
Yes, sir.
God, I'd like to, man. You really got to come to George West now. Come on,
exactly.
These two guys are Packers fans.
Man.
Exactly.
We won't get ahead of ourselves, though. Go ahead.
Vacation spot.
Probably anywhere with an island.
Okay.
Anything water?
Yes, sir. Yep, down Key West, something like that.
Oh, Florida. Best memory growing up.
Best memory growing up. Man, probably got to be throwing the first touchdown pass. It was in West Columbia, my junior year at varsity.
Gotcha.
60, 70 yarder, 80 yarder.
In the air.
I had to guess it was probably 35 or 40 yards. It was a fake.
Cowboys, Texans.
No, I've got to go Texans. Well, and I'm not a Texans fan, but not the Cowboys.
Good deal. Good answer.
Who is your NFL team? Is it?
I've always been a big Green Bay fan.
There we go. Yeah,
Yes, we got signed memorabilia all around this place, man. God,
that makes all three of
we're gonna
us.
make you a regular on the show.
Exactly.
We're gonna do a weekly. We're gonna do a weekly show with you, like Aaron Rodgers does on the McAfee show.
Yeah.
Come on, we're gonna get along great. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Rangers, Texans, or Rangers, Astros.
Astros.
College or pro football?
Man, so it would have always been college, but now college is starting to get kind of crazy too. So I don't watch a whole lot of college anymore, neither, but college.
What career would you have if you didn't have coach football?
That's tough. Probably, I guess a teacher.
Teacher.
Really love kids, so got to be something with kids.
Gotcha.
My personal question, let's say you win state this year, hypothetically, state next year, hypothetically. Would you consider college coaching?
I haven't even thought about anything like that before. I think you got to just take it day by day. I'm really happy here in Ganado. I plan on being here for a long time, as long as Ganado wants me here. And I don't know, cross that path if it ever came up.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
And we have one more for you. Did Dez catch it?
No, he didn't catch
Oh,
it.
he didn't catch it. There you go.
We know that answer now.
Would've-
We know that answer now.
If he would have, Roger still would have drove him down.
That's
So
what I tell everybody, man. You hear that, Dustin?
People don't
That
understand.
guy sees the game up close. He knew what was going to happen. Dustin, I'm sure you
Pull
know
the plug,
Dustin. He's a
Dustin.
Cowboy fan.
Pull the plug, Dustin.
Jesus.
Well, thanks, Scott says.
I wanna get into that playoff run. If you're okay talking about it, I'm sure a lot of people ask you about it, but we really want to get into it. Scott, do you have a question before we start that, or?
No, I just we'll get into it later, but I wanted to do like this little thing, like you know how like Sean McVay has like super good memory of like all the plays and stuff. Have a little like just 2 games of if you can remember what play y'all scored on, things like that.
You screwed up. He's gonna know everything now. He's gonna think about it right now. Okay, going back to 2023 playoff run. Preseason, Dave Campbell had you guys placing 4th in the district, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay,
Yes,
behind Refugio, Shiner, and Three Rivers. You guys obviously weren't on anybody's radar going into the season. You guys drop 1 in week 1 against a good East Bernard team. They're always good. You guys win 7 in a row, and then y'all drop the last one to Refugio going into the playoffs, which we'll get back to them soon. Okay, so as far as winning those 7 in a row, then losing your last game, maybe losing a little momentum. What's your mindset going into the playoffs? At that moment, if you can remember.
Man, yeah. So we started the season, really good game against Van Vleck, and then lost week 3 to East Bernard. That was our first loss, and we were growing as a team. So 2 years ago, we had a really good senior class, really talented senior class, really good quarterback, who's like top 25 in a few things for all-time 2A because he started since his freshman year. And so there was a lot of question marks on the outside, I think, about how good we could be last year. And we really believed that we could be really good. It was just kind of growing throughout the season, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Bringing the kids along. And so went through district. It was a really good game against Three Rivers here in Ganado. They had a really, really good team last year.
I was at that game.
Oh, you were at that game?
Yeah,
Yes,
my
sir.
nephew was their running back, so I was at that game.
Okay. Yeah, really good kid, big kid. And so then it was Refugio week 10 or 11, whatever you consider it, for the district championship. And obviously things didn't go our way. We had opportunities, we felt like, when we watched the film, and we were hoping that we would have a chance to possibly meet up with them again in the playoffs.
Gotcha. Okay, so playoff start. I mean, everybody's 0-0 going into the playoffs. Your locker room may have taken a hit, but it obviously didn't show because you guys are taking a hit because y'all lost that last game. So, I mean, obviously it didn't because you guys got through by district and area pretty handily. Y'all played Santa Maria and Mason. And Holland comes up next, who's undefeated. maybe everybody hears how good Holland is all the time, but obviously you guys weren't scared. You handed them guys a 30-point loss. Is that kind of the turning point right there, where you guys, you get to the third round, you get over that big hump, and are they kind of saying, we can do this? Is it kind of clicking? Like, what's clicking for you guys? Like, what drove this? What drove this onto the next couple rounds?
Yeah, so I think it really kind of started actually after that Refugio game. Watching the film that weekend, and the kids just seeing, man, like we had opportunities if we just make the play here, make the play there. Um, and then the next week at Santa Maria we played. The next week Mason. Mason was the game where I really felt like we came together and started executing offensively on a level that we hadn't been the whole season. Carried it into Holland and then into Refugio and then even into Timpson that first half. And so I don't know. The big thing this year is just how quickly can we get to that level again and then build off it. But I would say probably the Mason game to answer your question is when we really started clicking offensively and defensively to prepare for the rest of the season.
Okay, all right. Slow down. We're gonna have to go through this slow. We gotta fill the whole thing. All right. So you guys win those first three games. I calculated by a score of 142, outscoring y'all's opponent 25. So 142 to 25 in those first three. You're riding a big wave of confidence, and then Refugio comes, Almighty Refugio, who we have a theory on, but we won't get into that about where those kids. I mean, nothing bad, but like I said, we'll stop talking about it. A team, and I don't mean to offend you here, but last game of the season, they go into y'all's house, take your district championship and your 7-game winning streak. You know, I love a good playoff story or a payback story in the playoffs. So I'm gonna let you take the wheel here. I want you to take us through that game, okay? The preparation it did, the kids' attitudes, and then through the game, the emotions afterwards, if you can. Want to hear it all.
Yeah, so the week of, I mean, we were excited. That was the goal was to try to get back and see him in the playoffs. That's who we played. I think every year we've been in 2A. That's who we played in the playoffs and been the last game. And so the goal was get back to Refugio because if you don't, well, you lost before that. So uh, we were excited. The kids were excited. It was I just felt like it was the most confident we ever have been going into a game against Refugio. And anyways, went out there and defense started the game really well. Offensively, we drove down and I think we threw an interception on the first drive. Had a really good drive going and one of their defensive linemen blew up. Offensive lineman hit the quarterback when he was throwing. Ball fluttered, intercepted. Got another stop and then we scored. So it was 7-0 at that time, and defensively holding pretty strong. Offensively, started making mistakes. I think there were two drives with bad snaps. If I remember right, maybe it was two or three, just crazy, like what's going on. But settled the kids down, and right before halftime, we had a big sack that was scooped up and ran back for a touchdown. So if I remember right, I think it was 14-0 going into halftime. But the year before we were kind of in the same situation, not so much, but close to it. So the year before, I think it was like 35 seconds left in the half, and it was 7-6. We were beating Refugio, so 2 years ago, and I think the play before halftime or two plays before halftime, they threw a deep ball down the middle of the field for a touchdown. And so we went into halftime 2 years ago, 14-7 or something like that. And so it was kind of like telling the kids, because a lot of the kids were there 2 years ago also. They were there both years. And so we were like, hey, in a way, it's the same situation. We got to finish the game, though, because 2 years ago, the game ended up being like 50-something to 7. Yeah, so the second half, it was a blowout and it was bad. But same situation. Like we got to go out there and keep the pedal down because I mean back in I think it was like 2019, and I'm sure y'all been watching football this long, but Shiner was up big on them, really big on them, and I think the quarterfinals, and it was like a 30-something point comeback. So I mean, Refugio can do it, and anyone can do it, right? But that's all. That's all we were talking to him is they're going to come out the locker room and they're going to respond and we're going to have to respond back. And so, anyways, we come out of halftime and they drove down the field and scored. And so I think we may have blocked the extra point. Uh, but anyways, here we go. You know what I mean? The momentum, quote unquote, kind of shifting a little
A
bit.
little bit, yeah.
And anyways, so we responded and we went down and scored a touchdown right away. And I really felt like that was big for the team and for the momentum of the game. And from there on out, defensively was playing pretty well. I think offensively we might have punted a time or two, but we were able to run the ball pretty well. Pass game was working pretty well, and we were just executing offensively, and uh, is a fun night, great night to be a part of Ganado. The kids were fired up, the community was fired up, and um, just a really fun night.
I mean,
Anytime you beat Refugio,
yeah,
it's a good
like
night.
slaying the dragon.
Yeah,
Man. That's kind of how it is. Well, I mean, personally, I'll ask you personally, but I mean, you don't have to answer. But after that, you usually win. You shake hands as a coach. Move on to the next week. But personally, were you kind of like, we got your ass. Like we got your ass. That's it.
No, I mean, unfortunately, I was talking to someone, I don't remember who I was talking to in the off season, but what's crazy is man, you really don't get to enjoy uh winning for more than maybe a couple hours. And then it's like back to the grind of getting ready for the next opponent. You know what I mean?
Film next day.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's already on to the next person. And so I guess the only time you get to really enjoy that last win is if you ever are blessed with the opportunity to make it to state championship and win it. Which I've never been a part of anything like that, but that's I guess kind of something that I don't like about it, but it's just the nature of the job is you enjoy it for an hour or two and then it's on to the next one. And that's just it was same with this game as it is with the others.
Wow. Yeah. I guess when you think about it, you can't really look back on it and keep thinking about that when you got a better team coming up next week. More preparation you have to do than what you had to do the week before. So
Yes, sir.
okay, so after you guys beat Refugio, y'all move on to the state semifinals, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, and y'all play at Timpson. Timpson is well, they were the number one ranked team in the state at that point, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I know they had that kid Terry Bussey who's at A&M now. They're talking this kid may be the next Kyler Murray. I mean, we don't know. And I watched the story on that kid. It's a crazy story that kid has. That I mean, he's gone through a lot. Have y'all heard the story about it? Yeah, look it up if y'all get a chance. But I mean, I wish him well. I hope he does well there at A&M. But
He's gonna transfer to Oklahoma?
I don't know. Maybe Kyler Murray he could do that. So I mean, I hope you don't make you mad when I ask you this, but when you guys go into that game, I saw you guys are up 21-7. Uh Fired up and ready to go. I believe it was 21-7 at halftime, correct?
21. I think I don't know. They might have scored. It might have been 21-14 at halftime.
Okay. And as far as as far as what happened next, was it just kind of just a downhill thing, just not executing right or I mean,
Yeah, that was part of it. That was part of it. Definitely, yeah, there was stuff we didn't execute as well that game, in the second half. And then, I mean, a big part of it though, yeah, you got to give Timpson their credit. It's really, really, really good offense they had. Their defense was pretty solid, but Terry Bussey he's the real deal. He's as advertised and just a special kid. Getting to meet him before the game, really humble. But we had opportunities here and there. We just didn't capitalize. I think one of them was the first drive we had in the second half. We drove down to like the 2 yard line and then ended up not getting any points out of that. And so
yeah.
tough to win that deep in the playoffs when that happens. So
And it sucks looking back on it, thinking of the opportunities you have and, coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of stuff. But obviously you guys had more highs than lows, during this playoff run. I mean, can you like elaborate on what happens next after these kids, they obviously fall there in the state semifinals, playoff run ends, heartbreaking fashion. Are they satisfied at that point? Are they kind of like, man, we did it. We did a great job. We made it this far. Or are they kind of still hungry? Do they want to get after it already next year? Are they talking about, moving into the next?
Yeah, no, I think the majority of the kids see. So we only graduated three seniors. So obvious for them three, heartbreaking because that was the end of their career in Ganado, and yeah, they were probably proud also when it was said and done, maybe a month or two later, because the expectations on the outside really weren't that this was going to happen. But obviously, they were heartbroken. We were heartbroken for the seniors because that was their last time. But
Yeah.
the returning kids. After they got over the game a week later, yeah, it was hit the ground running, get ready for 2024, and let's try to start the season close to where we finished last season in terms of execution. So, uh, and I think that's what led into the great off season, the summer program that we had.
Hell yeah. Um, and here's a question. I probably already know the answer to, but I got to ask you anyway. After that, I'm sure people bring up the playoff run and all that. You might not like talking about it, but let me ask you, do you hate losing more than you like winning? Or does that not?
No, I would have to say, yeah. I think yes. To be honest with you, because I think about that sometimes just randomly because you hear, oh, I hate losing more than I like winning, and it'll be like a seventh grade game, and
Mhm.
yeah, I'm fired up on the inside, or eighth grade game. I'm fired up just because we're not winning. Um, and so yes, I think I do hate losing more than I like winning. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't know. I don't think about it too much, but. Yeah, losing bothers me.
Yeah, losing sucks. Yeah, like I'm the same way about the my girls' flag football. Obviously, a little different than your situation, but hey. Okay, Scott, do you have a question for him?
Uh, well, we can do that. So you talked about that Refugio game, and I was watching because I was trying to pick these plays, like which one I was going to test you on, and I did see the interception. But y'all did score first. Do you remember how y'all scored? What play it was?
Yes, sir. Yep. It was throwing a fade to Landon Hicks.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Let
what it
him-
was. Do you know how many yards?
If I had to guess off the top of my head, somewhere in between 30 and 35.
Yeah, I think it was like 25 or 30. I had the clip on here, but I can't figure out how to share my screen to show y'all. Uh, let me see. Oh, here we go. Let me see. And unknown so far. I'll be looking at the browser history anyway. Yeah.
He's like this with everybody. He wants to test everybody. He likes when people fail. I don't know what his problem
Oh,
is.
here we go. Later. Well, never mind. But anyways, you're right. That's what it is. That was like a fade route from now this may hurt James' feelings. We're gonna go to the TR game.
Oh,
Do you remember that first touchdown?
That first touchdown would have been, man, it's 1 or 2. I'm almost positive it's this one. Those we were under center, play action, rolling out to the right. Landon Hicks also on
Yeah.
a crossing route.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
9 yard TD.
wonderful.
And
Are
then
all coaches like this? Y'all remember everything like that, or
I'm sure we do. I don't know.
probably watch the film over and over again too? So
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
game was super close, but I think TR didn't get the 2 point conversion at the end. But do you know the play? How y'all went up 27-20?
How we went up 27-20. Uh, yes, it was inside zone. Dylan Holt ran it. If I had to guess, 40 to 50 yards somewhere in there.
That's it.
it's blurring
50
it out.
yards done. He's too good. Oh, you can't see it,
Yeah,
but you're right.
perfect. Right on the money.
Yeah, yeah, he's got the perfect memory, man.
Got you. Okay,
That's
Dustin, you
awesome.
got something for coach?
Yeah. So, watching film on y'all last year, man, I was just, and obviously then playing against y'all guys, I was just really impressed with how hard y'all's kids played. especially in my opinion, one of the things that stood out, and then as I just kind of watched y'all later in the playoffs and stuff too, is like just how hard on defense they run to the ball. I mean, everybody just flies the ball. Y'all, you have anything that you think attribute to that?
Man, I think number one, we have great kids in Ganado, great kids that are going to do whatever you ask them to do, and they're going to give you total effort all the time. So it starts with that. The second thing I think is we have a great defensive coaching staff that expects and holds them to those expectations. You know what I mean, and keeps them accountable. And and so I think when you got those two things, you put them together, you have a chance to be special. But man, it all starts with the kids. They're a special group that they just get after it, and they're going to give you everything that they have.
Yeah, y'all had a lot of speed last year. Y'all do any speed training type stuff in the off season, or I mean, there's a like I said, there's y'all had speed all over the field. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
when we played y'all, I mean, we could sniff keeping up with y'all guys
Yeah.
as far as speed goes.
From the highlight film, these guys were flying everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Defense, offense, both. From what I saw, just off a highlight film.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we I don't know. My opinion, speed's probably. I think speed's more important than the strength aspect of it.
Muhammad
Uh,
Ali, man.
the people up front to block on the line, but if you could fly around, especially defensively, if you could fly around to be in position to make a play, I mean, if you can't, then it doesn't matter how strong you are. So
Okay.
So you have a lot of those Burrises and Burris Guerreros, and I remember the Burris Guerrero. Are all those kids related, or
Whoa, dude, whoa.
it's it's crazy. It's almost like everyone in the community is related, and I guess that's something. I'm sure a lot of small communities are like that.
Mhm.
Bay City, we were a little bigger, so everything's new when I moved out here. But oh yeah, there's a bunch of family ties, and I think that's what makes it really special. Not only for the kids playing with their brothers, cousins, second cousins, whatever it may be, but really special for the families too, the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, uncles. It really is that family feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what makes it special to be a part of what's going on right now.
Okay,
Hey,
got a
real
few more. Okay, you're a young head coach. Obviously, you got to, what? How old were you when you got announced as the head guy?
Uh, it was crazy. It's all weird, but it was actually the day that I turned 28. So it was on my
Oh,
birthday.
damn. Congratulations,
Pretty
man.
cool.
That's awesome.
So, so at that point, like, did they kind of tell you, or like, hey, you're our guy, or did they kind of open it up and make you like really go through the full like gamut of the interview process, or?
Yeah, so that they opened it up, and went through the interview process. But man, I'm blessed that that's what they did. You know what I mean? Because it made me look at a bunch of things and truly think about for the first time, uh, if I am going to lead and run a program, like what does it need to kind of look like? You know what I mean? And so if they would have just said, "Hey, here you go," I don't know. I don't know that it would have been a longer transition time. I think there would have been stuff that I hadn't thought about yet, that maybe would have taken longer instead of thinking about it that month or two preparing for the interview.
That makes sense. So have you booked your rooms for AT&T Stadium yet?
Ooh, good question. Great question.
No, no.
The only reason I ask,
You can book ours if you want. We'll be there.
crazily enough, Coach Alvarez told me a story a while back when he first got to Cuero. I mean, like I think it was like the first meeting of training camp. They literally had booked the rooms, and he was just shocked. Now, if you did and don't want to tell us, I totally understand that too. But it was like just because the planning part of it, like Reeve was like super, like the planning of everything and all that stuff, and they thought they had a shot. So I guess as long as you canceled it far enough out that they were fine. But that's why I asked that. But
For sure. Nah, I mean, I'm being honest with you, and I have heard of teams that do that. It's not just Coach Reeve that year in Cuero, which I didn't know he did that, but I do know for a fact there's other schools that do that. Uh, but I don't, maybe I'll look back and be like, dang, should have. I don't know what's going to happen, but
The confidence of these schools, man. Holy shit, that's crazy. Like
Oh,
I've never heard of that. Never heard
I'm
of that.
Yeah, I don't know. We're just focused on us this week, and we'll worry about months from now if it even happens months from now. Um, and so that's where our mindset is.
Almost like the Odessa Permian, get you one of these. It's
Yeah.
like
Like
they're there every year, man. That's crazy.
state,
The
state.
road got a little harder.
Go win state.
I made our
According to
district playoff,
poll.
our district shirts before we even won district.
Mhm.
You have that confidence.
We
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Well, he
wore.
made one.
Yeah, I made one. I was the only one, and then some of the teams, like wrote it on like with marker on the underneath. But hey, coach, how's the future looking in terms of like the eighth grade and the JV?
Yeah, so we actually that's something I forgot to mention earlier. Our We have a freshman quarterback, and he played quite a bit yesterday in the scrimmage, and he's going to be pretty good. He's going to be pretty good. We're excited about him. There's a few other freshmen this year that are pretty good. And so I really think that as long as they keep working together, getting stronger, faster, um, and everything keeps going how it's been going, I think that we'll be pretty good, not just this year, but I think we got a chance to be pretty good here for a few years at
Awesome.
least.
So you got a quarterback returning it, but you got another guy competing with them right behind him, younger guy.
He's really good. We
You know,
played
a
against him
team
last
took
year.
him to state semifinals, and he still got somebody there. That's good. You got a bright future there as far as uh, the guy in command on offense. So, Austin, you got anything? Okay, Coach, I think we all know the goal this year. You guys obviously want to get to the state championship. Finish what y'all started last year. Anything else in particular, as far as smaller ones that you guys set aside for these boys that you hope they can accomplish while trying to get there?
Yeah, no, for sure. So we'll actually do our goal setting here later this week on Friday, 22nd, 23rd, whatever that day is. But we'll do our goal setting, and one of the goals will be district. I mean, we Ganado hasn't won a district championship in like 12, 13 years, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. Got to go through Weimar, got to go through Schulenburg, got to go through Flatonia, uh, Kennedy. Don't know what their new program's looking like. Got to go through them, Bloomington, and so I'm not saying that it's going to be easier that we could punch our ticket. Oh, we're going to win district. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's something that we haven't been able to do in a long time. Uh, that we are excited about working towards again this year. But man, the biggest goal is, and that's what I was telling, I don't know if it was Crossroads, Victoria Advocate, one of the newspapers, was the biggest thing, man, just go 1-0 every week. And if you do that, everything else takes care of itself. Um, and I think that a lot of people get caught up a lot of the time looking down the road forward at bigger things, instead of just focusing on the here, the now, and the present. And so if we could take care of that, everything else will take care of itself. And
You get back there, huh? We do have a friend of ours that came on the show, the coach for Weimar, Coach Holt. We actually are. I was going to tell you, we actually are going to try to make that game. Ganado, and I believe it's what, October 11th, you said, Dustin?
Yeah, I think that's all on the schedule.
Yeah, we're going to
You
try to
got it
make
right
the game.
there. Is it the 11th, Coach?
yep.
We do our research. We're not the Victoria Advocate or anything, but we do our research.
Close.
No,
Close.
Coach,
We're not Mike Foreman.
yeah, we do like to make it as, I mean, you do us a favor, come on our show. We try to go support you guys, try to make it to a game or stuff. I got your number. I'll let you know if we decide to go. Last year, we're on the sideline, shot videos and stuff. We have the footage, but we haven't made them yet. But I'll get with you when it comes to that some other time. But as far as that Weimar game, a lot of people are saying maybe that's kind of the game that determines the district champion.
Could be. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really seen a whole lot in terms of like them in Schulenburg and Flatonia, because I think Flatonia is changing the offenses, from what I read in the Dave Campbell's, or someone sent me a screenshot of it. So I don't know. We'll see. And you don't know what's going to happen. It could be two other teams, you know what I mean? Because I know Schulenburg, Weimar, really big rivals, so that's going to be an interesting game too. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You heard good things about Schulenburg, correct, Dustin?
Yeah, Coach Hobbs has got them kind of going over there, and then they got a really young team, or had a young team, and then got a lot of people back, is what everybody had been saying, going into the year. Who's y'all's rival, Coach?
Man, it was crazy. We really
I don't have
have one. In the 90s, I think they said it was industrial, but we don't play industrial anymore. And so we really don't have one. Louise is the closest town to us, but we don't play them. So
Yeah.
just say Three Rivers.
Three Rivers.
And we'll y'all have
Hey, that's it.
Green Bay fan, freaking Three Rivers hater. We
Yeah.
got it. You're part of the group.
All right, I got one more before I ask you this last question. You got any questions for us? Anything? Anything to tell us? Ask us?
no, sir.
Okay. Like I said, we're gonna try to make it to a game, but I have to ask you this, may get on your nerves a little bit, but what do you say to the people? There's people's on online and stuff saying that you guys got lucky, dominoes fell where they were supposed to, Refugio had a bad day, so and so had a bad day, and that it was, a one-time thing. So what do you have to say to those guys out there?
Uh,
Hit them hard.
and honestly, nothing. I don't have anything to say to them, right? Because that's the crazy thing is that app that they have, man. It's one of the worst things, especially because it's so sad when they go after the kids. You know what I mean? That's what really irks me is when people go after kids on the app, who are giving everything they can for their community. But anyways, that's a different subject. I have nothing to say to them because they're just sitting behind the keyboard, right? Just typing, talking, and we'll see what happens. In the future. I know I was listening to a video the other day. They said, "Oh, it's a fluke," and that's their opinion. And I guess that's the beauty of America. You got the free speech, but I don't know. I think we're going to be a really good team this year, and we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, I mean ranked number one. I mean you can only play who's in front of you. So as far as that whole, they got lucky here, good matchup for that. I don't believe in that stuff either. But
Back
hey,
in the day, we never used the internet. Scott Rosenbaum would use the radio waves
yeah,
to talk shit.
We had Texas 2A. Remember
Yeah,
Texas 2A?
just wait for him.
Yeah, that form.
Yeah, if you ever see the username Ed Truck, that's Austin on there. So you see him hating on kids, get after him.
that's insane, man. That they go after kids like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But hey, a wise man once said, "If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping." All right, so let them boys know that. Get them ready, coach. You guys have scrimmage next week.
Yes, sir. Next Thursday.
Okay. And those scrimmage. I'm sorry, real quick though. Are you kind of want a coach that wants your guys to play during the scrimmage, or do you kind of just put them in a series or two here and there, or do you want to get them the full?
No, yeah, I like getting them in the full and get them ready to go because I mean here in 2 weeks it's the real deal and they're gonna have to play a ton of snaps. So if they're not conditioned for that or if they're not ready for that, then I mean it's gonna be tough on them. Not just the winning and losing aspect, but just the injury aspect of playing a full game when you might only play 20 plays total in the scrimmage. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
we are trying to get as many reps. As we can to condition their body because it's crazy. One kid is like he's an 8-way starter. You know what I mean? He's on offense, defense, kickoff return, punt return, PAT block. He's on every single thing that we do, and so he's got to be able to play the whole game and come out maybe a play here or there. But it is no special teams. You get a break.
Yeah.
The beauty of 2A football. You're playing everything.
10-4. That's awesome, man. You guys got any other questions? You all good?
Real quick, hey, who'd you cheer for for college football?
College football, man, I'm a big Clemson fan. I know they haven't been too good the past few years, but I really like Dabo Swinney a lot. It's fun watching was Oklahoma, now he's at USC, Lincoln Riley. It's fun watching some of those offenses, seeing what they're doing. But I really don't watch a whole lot to cheer for anyone. Last time that I remember really engaged in watching and cheering for a team was probably when Johnny Manziel was playing at Texas A&M. So that was back when I was in college. Since then, it's been just high school, high school, high school, busy with the job on the weekends.
Awesome, man.
Good deal.
Okay. As far as from us, we don't. As far as expectations, I think we know what their expectations are this year. But before I leave, if you'll accept our words of encouragement real quick. No? Yes? No? All right. Well, I just wanted to quote this real quick for you guys, and maybe take it as you will. But late great Texas football legend Bum Phillips once said, "Last year we knocked on the door. This year we're gonna kick the damn thing in." So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Hopefully y'all can get back there. We're gonna keep eyes on you guys. Like I said, we'll try to get to a game as soon as we can, and hopefully we can see you guys playing there in late December.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us, you guys. Coach Josh Ervin, Ganado Indians.
See you in AT&T Stadium, baby.
AT&T. All right, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Yeah, have a good evening.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
All right, we just got done with our interview with Coach Ervin. How do you guys think it went? Did it go good? Go good?
Yeah. I thought, a lot of information shared, and got to know him better and what his thoughts are. It's pretty smart.
I think he's still thinking about that question you asked him about college. And maybe you gave him like hope that, you know what?
Yeah, maybe
go to college.
Yeah.
I mean, you win a couple state championships. I mean, you never know. Seems like he loves it there in Ganado, though. Especially only being two places in that accent. That's definitely Bay City. That's definitely East Texas kind of thing. He didn't seem like he gets excited about too much, but pretty serious dude. I'm excited. I'm excited about Ganado. Hopefully they can get back there next year. They are ranked number 1. Do we know the top 5 is in the state?
I got it right here. Hang on.
Okay, what do we got? The top 5. We'll keep an eye on these teams.
Zoom.
While he's doing that, another news. Brendan Aubrey, we forgot to talk about at the beginning of the show. 66-yarder in preseason. 66-yarder. He had room to spare, too, didn't he, after that
Hit
kick?
the net. I want to say
It hit the net?
Yeah, it hit the back.
Okay, so he was probably good from 70 then.
Yeah.
Where do the Cowboys find? Like, I get it. Like some Cowboys kickers. Here's the way it goes with the Cowboys kickers. Like all the way since Nick Folk.
They missed one kick.
Yeah, well,
and they're done.
Nick Folk, he was the best kicker in the league for 4 or 5 years. Then Dan Bailey, same thing, best kicker in the league for 4 or 5 years. And now this Aubrey guy. It seems like these dudes miss the most important field goals of their career though. And Jerry Jones just axes them as soon as that's over. It hadn't happened to Brendan Aubrey yet though. He still makes all his field goals.
Well, Dan Bailey was there for a long
ain't
time.
even getting them there.
He just got hurt. That was the problem, and he never was the same after he got hurt.
Yeah, Dan Bailey. They used to always talk about how good of a weapon he is, and this and that. But that could be the best player on the Cowboys team going into this year.
What happened to Aubrey last year? What happened to Aubrey last year?
I don't know. I didn't.
Freaking perfect throughout the year. Playoffs, fucking missed kicks. Last game of the season, missed a kick, and like his first missed kick were like very, very important.
Yeah. Well, sadly, that kick wouldn't have made a difference in that playoff game. No.
Against who?
I literally don't. We didn't lose that game because of Brendan Aubrey.
No, I know. That's what I mean. It wouldn't have mattered regardless.
It mattered.
Oh no. Hey, you win as a team, you lose as a team, Dustin.
Yeah.
You think Brendan Aubrey was saying, hey, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, Brendan Dassey's
Brendan
Dassey's a team player.
Hey, Scott, Gardner Minshew got named a starter. What's up?
I was just looking at that.
All the hate you talk about Gardner Minshew. Little ass boy starting for that team now. I don't think it'll last long though.
Terrible.
Yeah, no, I know.
They didn't do good.
Their quarterback situation is probably about comparable to the Cowboys running back situation.
They just need to get Tom Brady, dude. I would just throw whatever money Tom Brady wants.
Yeah.
Just come for one season.
You're gonna throw him Fox money or what?
He has to give up
Whatever
his
money he
ownership
wants.
in order to be able to play for the Raiders, though.
They'll do it and then just give it back to him.
Mm-hmm. Invest
They
it
could
back
do
in the
something.
team.
Yeah.
Okay, I got my random quarterback question. Speaking of quarterbacks, all right, here we go. Random quarterback, NFL quarterback. Okay, y'all got the last one right? I was third guess last week.
Third guess, yeah.
All right, so this guy, he went to college at Penn State from 91 to 94.
I was fucking 3 years old, dude.
Okay, no, I know. Nothing about that one? You don't got nothing on that one? Don't be looking it up, Scott.
Let me start thinking.
No.
Okay, the next hint is He lost in the NFC Championship in 1996 to the Packers 30-13. Led the team that he played against.
Vinny Testaverde.
No. And this might give it away. Was the first draft selection
Drew Bledsoe.
for this expansion team.
Drew Bledsoe.
No.
I'm out.
Who's an expansion team in?
There was the
96. Packers played.
that would be like the
They played the fucking new.
that would be like the
Patriots.
Browns, but
In the Super Bowl.
But Tim,
Oh,
Talking
Steve
NFC
McNair.
Championship.
okay. I don't know that one then.
No, not Steve McNair.
no,
Was it?
McNair went to HBCU.
Okay, the next hint, he ended his career as a backup to Peyton Manning for the Colts in 2011. And if y'all can't get it off of that, I'll give y'all his career path.
You said Penn State, 91 to 94.
We got to
thought-
look at the Colts.
I think he was. I would think he was in broadcasting, like this guy, whoever it is. Like it's like coming to my.
Ryan Leaf.
No, Ryan Leaf went West Washington State.
Okay, y'all want another hint?
One more.
Career path. Panthers, Saints, Giants,
Jake Delhomme.
Raiders,
The homie.
Titans,
The
Colts.
homie.
No, not
Delo-
DeLone.
The homie won a Super Bowl, didn't he?
Plummer.
No.
Jake Plummer.
It's an older guy. He's on the broadcast. I swear, there's a guy that went to.
He
Penn
made it
State.
to a Super Bowl with the Giants.
Holy hell!
As a backup.
Yeah, probably. No, it ain't Phil Sims.
No, he didn't. He was a starter.
Chris Sims.
Oh,
Come on,
That's
that's
play for the Texans. I know.
The Giants.
he made it to the Super Bowl with the Giants, and they lost to the Ravens.
That's Collins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, good job. Kerry Collins.
Gary Collins.
Yes. The first overall pick for that franchise. I thought that would have gave it away because '96 the Jaguars and the Panthers were the new franchises, but I didn't know he was the number one overall pick for him. And
I was thinking of some other guy.
the only reason I thought of him because I was watching NFL Network and they were doing the I guess like a throwback of the 1996 NFC Championship game where the Packers beat them. Kerry Collins, he had a pretty good career. Okay, what else we got? Real quick before we get out of here?
Top 5 is Ganado 1,
Okay.
Rio 2, Honey Grove, which is East Texas or just south of Paris, like way up there. Number 3, Timpson 4, Garrison 5.
So Timpson, even though they lost their quarterback, they're still in the top 4.
Yeah. And these will be drastically updated, you know. Timpson's losing a ton, so who knows?
Scott, what'd you think of the Chargers preseason game?
I didn't even watch it. I don't watch preseason
Because
because
it don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I already knew we were going to lose going into it.
But you just said that
But-
Caleb Williams looked so good in preseason.
No, I said Caleb Williams. I didn't think he looked good at all.
Really?
I thought they looked terrible.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like that. Even though your boy Keenan Allen, it takes a lot to.
Yeah. Well, I watched the first quarter of the Bears, and they
Okay.
literally did nothing. I don't even know if they got a first down.
I watched
Caleb Williams
I watched the Hard Knocks and like watching the Hard Knocks. Clearly, they pick out all the good plays and all the good shit that happens. But dude, they look so talented there.
Yeah, they do.
Their backups, like even their backups, just look great in practice. I mean, of course, we only see like a small smidge of everything that goes on, but it seems like they do got a different attitude going into the season. They're young. That's the only thing I think that's going to kill them, though, is they're young. I don't think they'll be good the first year. I give it 2 or 3 years, they maybe have a chance.
I think their division's too tough. With the
And we
Packers
have
and the
well
Lions.
last year. I didn't think about this, but they finished like a quiet 7-10
Yes,
last year.
That first pick wasn't theirs.
Okay, they were Packers finished 9-8. So I mean, that's they're 1 game ahead of them there. So or 2 games after that loss, but I mean he still. I know 7-9 doesn't sound that good or anything, but still it's 7-10. But that's more games than you thought. I figured they won like 3 or 4 just thinking about it. And they got the number 1 overall pick because Carolina traded for the whole Bryce Young thing. How do you think that's going to turn out?
Oh, that's
Not
a good
looking
question.
good.
You don't think so?
I feel like he's just too small. Like he's
Yeah,
too little.
Too small.
They don't have it. No, they just don't have a team.
They don't have a team either, but
Yeah.
he is tiny.
Yeah, they're not a good team.
If they could have built like the Bears did, and got more receivers.
You know what's crazy? they had C.J. Stroud and Young right there next to each other, and they were even thinking about taking Stroud, but as soon as Bryce Young came in that meeting, it was over. They were like, we're going Bryce Young. And look at C.J. Stroud, a Super Bowl favorite, a top 6 teams as far as odds.
I looked at or was watching the Texas preseason game yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They have 2 freaking sets of 3 wide receivers. Like their top 3 and their second 3
Are just as good.
Yeah, they have Mechie at number 6.
Yeah, Robert Woods is there too.
Robert Woods is number 4.
Uh-huh.
And they have someone else at number 3 or number 5. I was like, dude, that's another receiving core in its own.
And Michi didn't play last year either. He was hurt.
So
and that dude's fast.
Who are they going to cut?
I don't know. You can keep 6 wide receivers, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would keep 6.
But you're taking away from your other spots.
I guess so. They're going to have to cut a quarterback because they have Davis Mills there and they have Case Keenum also.
Keenum fucking was throwing
Yeah,
dimes
Keenum's
yesterday.
always been...
He was throwing dimes yesterday.
People forget that Case Keenum took those Vikings to the NFC Championship when they lost to the Eagles that year.
He threw the Minnesota Miracle?
Yeah, and it's crazy because there was no doubt still, even though Case Keenum took them that far, they were still going to replace the guy. I mean, he did a great job. They just released him the next year after going to the NFC Championship. Ran into old Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
And the Magic, the underdogs.
Scotty, I was talking to James about this earlier. Who's the Chiefs' backup?
The Chiefs backup?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You'll never guess. We'll give you 3 guesses. He was a MVP favorite not too long ago.
I saw him yesterday on TV.
It's that now since you said that, it's gonna be that one guy who's on the Eagles, and then
Carson Wentz.
I never would have got his name.
Carson Wentz was
their
backup.
Everyone who thinks that he's like, I don't know. I just never thought he was gonna be good.
After that injury, that was it for him.
Yeah.
It was done after that.
Did you see the behind the back pass?
Yeah,
Mahomes threw.
That was ridiculous.
No shit, he threw a behind the back pass in that game.
Andy Reid wanted him to do that in the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
Andy Reid called that, and Mahomes was like, "No, I'm not doing that in the Super Bowl."
Well, he said that was spontaneous though, the behind the back part of it.
Yeah. No, it was designed.
No, he said literally just said in the post game that it's all that kind of stuff is all spontaneous. That they don't like he doesn't plan it out, otherwise he'll screw it up.
Exactly.
He did screw up a no-look pass one year to Kelsey where he just threw it completely over his head because he was trying not to look so bad. So.
But it was like a behind-the-back shovel pass, like, hey, I'm going this way, and then boom.
So just like a toss, pretty much,
Yes.
behind the pass. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's not undoable, I guess.
Well, it's not undoable, but if you do it in the Super Bowl, yeah, you're gonna fuck up everything.
Yeah.
Or you could.
That's kind of like the whole Reggie Bush lateral in that championship game that year.
That was a really nice lateral. I like that.
It worked out for you. When are they going to get back there? Dustin?
This season.
All right, speaking of that, college football top 25, what do we have to say for it? Early predictions. Who wins the championship?
Oregon.
Okay. Texas.
I'm going to go Ohio State.
I was going to say.
Okay.
That's what I told you to put the bets on, right?
Yeah, I think Georgia's still too powerful. I think they probably would have won it last year had they not dropped that game to Alabama. Mm-hmm. I mean, they destroyed fucking Florida State. I know that quarterback didn't play, but that kind of sucked that they let them out. Didn't they beat Florida State like 62-8 or something like that?
Bad.
Yeah. Well, Florida State, none of their players played.
When are they expanding the college football playoff? I'm sorry, Scott. Who do you have picked for the champion this year?
Oklahoma.
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay. But are they expanding it to 6 teams this year?
It's 12.
12 this year?
It's 12 this year.
Oh, shit. That's going to be crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
And
what if a 12 seed wins it? That'd be insane.
And all the first round games are like home stadiums.
Yeah.
So the higher seed gets the home.
Yes.
Well, that makes sense.
Not the 1 through 4, the 5. Yeah. Notre Dame, if the highest that is the crazy thing is, like all the conference champions get the first 4, like Big Ten, ACC, all those. Like Notre Dame,
Power 5.
Yeah, Notre Dame can't do it. They cannot be in the top. 4.
They're independent.
Yeah,
I know, they can't
so
be in
the
the top
highest
4.
seed they can get is number 5. Might make them join.
Do you think that solves the problem though? Like 12 teams, or 5-10 years from now, they're gonna say a team that was ranked 15 should have got a chance. Like, we were hot, but we got kept out of the top 12.
Next year, it's gonna be next year.
It'll be 16,
right? I mean,
like the following year.
Are we gonna eventually go to 64 like they do in the damn basketball thing? We might as well not even have a season. Just do a damn tournament the whole year. No, it's always going to be a problem, though. I think 12's not going to be good enough because you're going to have the teams behind ranked number 12 thinking, hey, we should have got a shot. We should have got a shot.
They're
But
already talking about.
if you're ranked 12, you shouldn't even be there, to be honest with you, if you're the 12th seed.
They're already
you're
talking
just
about
getting in.
before this 14.
So the 12 seed apparently is going to be the group of 5 champion. Like not champion, but like the best group of 5 team, basically.
Okay,
so that'd be like Texas State, possibly.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
like,
like your whack and your
Yeah,
swag and all that.
all that.
Okay.
Whack and swag.
Yeah.
yeah, all that stuff. So that'll, unless somebody really impresses and they rank them higher, but
How
everybody's
can
saying.
how can they make that the number 12 seed when they won't even be ranked in the top 25 is what
Well,
gets me.
Well, it's not that. I mean, those teams that are undefeated, like Cincinnati's a few years ago, they beat
Yeah.
Notre Dame earlier.
That's who I was going to say. A Cincinnati would be a good seed for that 12, like that
Yeah,
conference.
but-
And like an Eastern Michigan or something like
But
that.
all those teams are now in the Power 4 or whatever. Like
Yeah.
all those teams, like they've got bumped up. So because like Cincinnati's in the Big 12 now.
What about Boise?
But, huh?
Boise.
Boise's in
still they're in the
Mountain West.
Yeah, like if they run the table and win it all, or win like their conference, they could be like the 12th seed, maybe 11.
Scott,
Okay.
what's your opinion on Boise State?
Can't stand them.
Don't need them.
Don't need them.
Can't win with them.
Want 'em.
Get them out.
That's what we're going to do next show. We're going to make a list each, and we're going to pick the 12 teams that we think are going to make it to the thing. We'll throw in $100 for the pool at the end of it. Whoever gets the most right.
Yeah, I'm done.
But we need to have a better understanding of who's going to be in the 12 seed, and if it's going off of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I would
Got
say
a couple picks.
a couple picks.
Yeah, Miami to win the ACC is a futures pick.
Mm-hmm.
So that would put them somewhere in the top 4. I mean, future casting there.
Well, they just got to get past Florida State.
Clemson, Florida State.
Yeah.
Florida State is really all.
Yeah, Clemson, Florida State are the main 2. They say like Virginia Tech's like
Hey,
a
y'all don't talk about
dark
Coach Irvin's team like
I
that.
know.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it here first. He's watching this Packers game right here. Hell yeah, big Green Bay fan.
And then I got
Figured he'd be more excited.
Yeah.
Green Bay guys here. It's all right though. He's got to be in serious mode. He's got a lot of on his mind right now. Film study, getting back. The expectations got to be crazy, weighing heavy on you.
oh yeah, when you're number 1.
Yeah, and if they say God forbid, knock on wood, say they lose first round, second round, like there's going to be so many people. Why? How did we make it here when we all of our play? That's what's the only thing that sucks about small town football in that situation. So, but no, I got no doubt they like the question you said, or not question, but the statement you said to them. Those guys fly into the ball, offense, and they can fly. The whole team is fast. Even their linebackers, dude. And I'm talking dog pile every play. Like nobody was giving up. And this was the highlight film, so. I mean, I haven't seen a whole game or anything, but it was impressive. There wasn't too many highlights for Refugio in that game they played against.
No.
Refugio.
Well, what was the final score? Like 35-14 or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was
42,
30-7, I think.
Yeah.
Or
Something like
No,
that.
it was like 40 something to
Yeah.
something.
yeah, but yeah, that's
Dude, how about that?
crazy. I hope they can get back there, man.
How about that 2006 All Bay Area team they all had?
Oh yeah,
That was
Picture
freaking
was pretty
hilarious.
funny.
dude, it was so funny. Clinton was sitting there on the edge, just all pissed off, in a pink shirt. He didn't even want to stand by us, dude. Everybody stood by their teammates, and he just was over there at the end. Poor guy.
Y'all-
You know what? You got to give Clinton props for that because those offensive linemen that were on that team were huge.
Yeah.
They were big dudes, and you have Clinton, who's what 5'7", 5'8",
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the All Bay Area team, the first team All Bay Area. So Clinton was a bad dude. He was a bad dude. Didn't look like it in the picture with the pink shirt, but hey.
I was like, yeah, y'all had the pink shirts on, but y'all changed right before the fucking picture. You and John.
Or you said, who said that? We told him we were going to wear pink and we showed up in black. Yeah, I totally freaking forgot about that. That's crazy. But we got anything else, Dustin? You got something else?
One more pick. Since college football unofficially, but officially starts next
week?
weekend. Yeah, the big game, Florida State, Georgia Tech over in Ireland.
We'll do a Zoom show Thursday or Friday or something, just to get picks out there to start.
Breaking news. We're
got
going.
one- I got
we're,
one
we're going to Ireland. All of us.
Georgia Tech plus
going-
11.
AT&T Stadium. We're gonna book our. Oh, dude, another thing. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. All right, Scott, you got any picks or anything for tomorrow? Or are you good, bro?
How you been doing on baseball?
I'm good.
Why couldn't you come, man?
Not
You didn't
good.
want to hang out with us or what?
Dude, no, if y'all would have texted after because I was off today, I was gonna go,
What the
but then it got too late. I was just waiting and waiting.
Bro, me,
And I
Austin,
never
and
got to
Dustin been
go.
here since, what,
Yeah.
12:30?
James spent the night here.
I figured you, I
Dude,
thought
I
you had to
texted
work
y'all.
because you were off Sunday.
No.
Damn, man, I'm sorry. We should have freaking texted you. My bad.
Oh, there goes my bet.
Now I got to live with that. I got to live with no
That's
one.
on your hands.
Yeah.
Are the Astros gonna win tonight?
They already played, right?
Already played.
Yeah,
They
there's
already played?
no
I
there's
thought
no
they
more
played
games.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Yeah, never mind. It's tomorrow. Red Sox. Damn,
As
okay.
far as picks, yeah, I don't have any picks either. Take the under for every preseason game for the rest of the year. The under's like hit 20 in a row or something like that. I saw a stat earlier. It's like an all-time fucking.
I'm pretty sure this is the last week of
If I
preseason,
take
right?
it, the
Is it?
over.
Well, no, I think there's next week, right?
Or next,
more week.
another week.
Yeah, this is week 2.
If I take the under, it'll be the highest scoring game
Yeah,
in
no shit.
preseason history.
You're gonna hit the under on this game.
Yeah. And we parlayed it with the other one too. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, I gotta play the outro, Scott. So we're gonna go ahead and let you go, bro.
Peace.
See ya. That's Scott, dude. I feel bad now that.
I told you he wasn't working.
Why didn't you call him and tell him?
I did.
Golly. I've been busy. No, I'm just kidding. God, man. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. We'll have this interview out with Coach Ervin. Great interview, by the way. Great interview. Probably like his longest interview he put out this year, right?
Definitely.
And he was kind and courteous enough to do it with us. You know, he's done interviews with Victoria. What is it, Victoria? What?
Advocate.
You know, I mean, I think he had more fun with us. That's just me.
I think that makes us journalists, dude.
I think it does.
We are journalists.
I think it does. I think you're right. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here, and we will see you guys next time. Go Indians! 2024 state champion 6-0.
Go Pack, go! Go Pack, go!